Are you ready to say hello already? I haven't even done the intro. You just know it's happening, don't you? And you don't want to miss out because it's the very special Christmas video. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my last video. Well, there'll be one more video, but this is my basically last video for the year. It's my Christmas video. It's my inventory video. So I've been doing this for a few years now, since I started tracking it in 2019, and since then I have been creating this video which goes up on Christmas Day my time, where I basically go through my spreadsheet of products, my beauty stash, and I talk to you about how much products I used up, what I decluttered, the new things that came into my life for the year, and also my goals for the year ahead. So I'm going to scooch over. Okay, I'm struggling with the extra warm yellowiness in this room. I don't actually look like I'm jaundiced in real life, and I'm not. I'm very well. It's my blinds. The sun is reflecting off them and it is making the room glow like an orangey color, which is really nice when you're sort of in here doing stuff, but when I'm trying to film, it makes me feel like I've got rage bubbling up inside me, but it doesn't matter. The show must go on. So over here you will see a table of my skin inventory category. I've also got body, hair, makeup and samples, so we're going to go through them all. Anything that's highlighted in yellow are categories that I want to work on in the following year. Anything that's highlighted in green is like, I don't have any. I don't have any of those products. I finished them all up. You'll find a column that says 2022 number, so that is the amount of products that I finished 2022 with. You'll see the finished column, that's products that I finished. The declutter column is stuff that I decluttered. The new in 23 column are obviously products that came into my stash in 2023, and the final columns are my total and the amount that it increased or decreased by. If the number in the increase or decrease column is green, it means that I decreased my total amount by that number, and if it's red, it means that I increased my total amount by that number. Obviously the total column is probably pretty self-explanatory, but that is basically the amount of products that I am finishing 2023 with. On the far right of the table you will see 3 columns labeled PR, gifted and purchased. That just represents basically where the new products come from. So if I had like one new item in 2023 and there's one in PR, then you know I got one item just from PR. But if there's like 5 and it's split across different columns, then you know how many items came from each source. So let's get into it. Makeup remover. This was a category that I wanted to work on in 2023 and I just kind of flopped with it. When I'm talking about these makeup removers, it's like liquid makeup removers. So typically micellar water, makeup remover wipes, stuff like that. I wanted to work on it in 2023. I just didn't. I kind of, look, it's hard because my next category is oil cleansers, and that was another area where I was trying to whittle things down. And I did manage to finish up 2 products. I didn't buy any new products, which was fantastic. Usually the pharmacy cleansing balms at the end of the holiday season are like, it's a weakness, but I did well this year and I didn't buy it. So it's kind of hard to work on both of these categories simultaneously and make significant progress with products. I can say that with my oil cleansers, I am at a point where I no longer feel like I actively need to work on minimizing the collection. The oil and balm cleansers that I do have, obviously it's a wide variety of pharmacy cleansing balms, and I've got some Shuamura oil cleansers. I also do have one oil cleanser and a refill for that bottle that I use for like cleaning makeup sponges and sometimes makeup brushes if they've got really stubborn marks on them. So my plan for 2024 is to actually focus on my liquid makeup removers and use my oils and balms organically. When it comes to cleansers, I smashed this year, and usually I do use up a lot of cleansers. It's something I use twice a day, every single day. So I finished 7. I decluttered 1. I'm trying to think which, oh no, that's right. I didn't technically declutter it. I actually left it at home in Melbourne when I did my move in January, which is another thing I will mention. Some of the items that are in like the decluttered category, they're technically decluttered from my stash, but they weren't, like, they were given to my mom. I did buy 3 cleansers because I was pretty much all out. I'd gotten to the point where I had 2 cleansers left. There was one at my basin and there was one in my shower, and that was all I had. I bought 3. I now have 5. Here is another point that I want to make about my inventory. It is never perfect. If you're noticing that the math doesn't math here, I know it doesn't math for me either. Because I have so many products, this is never a perfect system. I often have discrepancies on the table. It is what it is. As you know, my stash gets smaller and smaller. It does get easier to get it correct. But I do know that a common thing that throws off my inventory each year is if something comes into my stash and makes it onto my inventory list, but that is then like finished up or decluttered in that same year. If I'm not keeping really close track of that, then I often make mistakes and it throws my numbers off. So if you notice any of those sort of errors, don't be too fussed by it. It is what it is. Face scrubs, I have 2. I didn't finish any up. I didn't declutter any, and I didn't bring any into my stash this year. I still have 2 of them. Toners, I have none. I had 3 at the start of the year. I finished 1, I decluttered 2, and I don't have any at the moment. I'm not really sure that I would bother bringing toners back into my stash unless I got them in PR or something. It's not likely to be something that I would purchase. In saying that, there have been a few hydrating toners that have caught my eye this year, and maybe I might be interested in buying them in the future because my skin is so dry. But for now, this is a category where I don't have any products. Acids are my like liquid exfoliating products. Realistically, I will probably combine the acid and the toner category together now, simply to help streamline my inventory and my spreadsheets. So I started the year with 7 acid toners. I finished them all and I purchased 3 this year. So that leaves me with a total of 3 of those products. It's likely enough to get me through, you know, maybe 9 to 12 months. Moving on to serums. This has become a problem category. Not really. It's, look, let me explain. So I started the year with 7. I finished 3 and decluttered 2. Then I had 13 new ones come into my stash. Now, I didn't actually buy 13 serums. I did get a lot. I did buy some this year. I also got a lot as gift with purchases, but a big chunk of what is in my like 13 number of coming in serums this year came from my advent calendars last year. So usually when I am working on my inventory, I haven't finished unboxing my advent calendars. Sometimes there's still like Black Friday things or end of year sale items that are, you know, yet to arrive to me. So they don't make it onto my inventory this late in the year. They usually make it on next year. So this is a combination of products that I did buy recently and have made it onto my inventory, but also items from very late last year. I'm finishing off the year with 15 serums, and really that's not actually a lot for me. I do go through a lot of serums. If I try one and I don't like it, I will actually use it up on my body, and that's a really quick way to burn through products, and also it gives my body a little, you know, treat. Facial oil, not a super interesting category. I started with 6, I finished 3, I decluttered 1, and I had 2 come into my stash, leaving me with 4 products. Moisturizer, my god, this was a nightmare for me this year. I struggled so bad with moisturizers. I started the year with 16. I used up 8, decluttered 3, and I had 10 come into my stash. That's a lot. Again, they're coming from advent calendars and some purchases that I made late in the year. I've got 15, so my stash hasn't dwindled much, but there's a really good chance that like 90% of what I own isn't actually going to be suitable for my skin. I can think of 3 moisturizers from those 15 that are currently sitting in my cupboard right next to my body moisturizer, ready to be finished up on my body because they are simply not good enough for my face. So I actually expect a lot of them to be gone by the end of next year. For night moisturizers, I had 2 at the start of the year. I decluttered 1. That leaves me with just 1 night moisturizer. Sometimes I'm in camp, yes, night moisturizer, and sometimes I'm in camp, no night moisturizer. It simply depends on how much I like the moisturizer. This is one where I'm going to combine the categories for next year just to make it easier for myself and streamline my stash. Once upon a time, I had a category for day moisturizers that were specifically for daytime, a category for night moisturizers, and a category for standard moisturizers that were just like use it whenever you want. Over the years, I have managed to whittle that down a bit. And the reason why I had all 3 categories was because I had so many products. Eye cream. Oh man, I'm still searching for my like forever eye cream. I started the year with 7. I finished 3, decluttered 2. I had 1 new one come into my stash, and that leaves me with just 3 eye creams. I do actually know for a fact that I have one. It just arrived today in the mail. So my number is technically 4, but it was too late. You didn't quite make it onto the inventory list. Next year will be your time to shine, unless I finish you, and then you'll probably just balk up my numbers. Okay, lips. This was a category that I had really planned to work on in 2023, and I just didn't. I stretched myself too thin with lip projects this year, let's face it. So I started with 31. I finished 4. I had 1 new one come into my stash, which was not a purchase. Well, it technically was a purchase, but not a directly conscious purchase. It came out of an advent calendar. I'm finishing the year with 28, but I definitely need to like get a move on with sorting myself out there. I will say I have quite a few like almost done lip balms on the go. I seem to have them like everywhere in my house and my car and my bag and just everywhere. So I expect in like the coming weeks or maybe, you know, just a couple of months, I'm gonna have quite a few that are actually finished and I'll be cracking into my stash again. So that's not too bad. For spot treatment, I started the year with 5. I had 2 new ones come into my stash and it's leaving me with 7. Now, these spot treatments for me are typically like the little hydrocolloid patches or the like Cica repair patches or even like an acidic spot treatment. The new items were actually little spot treatment patches, which is fine. I don't mind. Like if you need them, you need them, but they, you know, they don't take up a lot of space. It doesn't bother me too much. Sheet masks. So I started the year with 33 and I used up 14. I had 6 come into my stash. 1 was PR and I actually bought a packet of 5 sheet masks just very recently. They arrived just a couple of days ago. So it leaves me with 25. I still want to work on this category, mostly to make sure that I'm like using my oldest sheet masks before I use my newer ones, although the newer ones are very tempting. I bought the new Loop sheet masks at Mecca and I really want to try them. The packaging of them make me think in my brain that they're going to be really good, which is one of my toxic traits, that I allow packaging to make me think a product is good without even bothering to look at ingredients and or reviews. Okay, moving on to face masks. So these face masks, I'm talking about topical face masks that I usually wash off or wipe off. Now, I started the year with 2, finishing the year with 2. I've made no progress. Those 2 masks absolutely must go in 2024. I want to use them. I've got one that's extremely expensive. It's a Shantakai Biolifting Mask. And look, my issue with that is I kind of don't want to finish it up because it's super expensive. It's not really in my budget to purchase it again at the moment. But also it's a really good mask and I get fantastic results out of it. So I may as well enjoy it. And another one, it's a Sunday Riley jet lag mask. I'll likely use that as a night cream. Okay, eye masks. I need to sort myself out here. Again, this was a category that I really wanted to focus on this year. And let me explain. So I started with 33 and I finished 3. Now, the ones that I finished were the tubs. So I'm pretty sure I finished, was it 1 tub or 2 tubs of the like individual like 30 sets of hydrogel eye masks, and then there would have been like an individual one in there. One new one came into my stash and I'm leaving the year with 31 eye masks. I need to dig into this stash in 2024. My eyes are one of those areas that I'm noticing age with me now. So I'm in the perfect position to potentially get good results from eye masks, and then I can go forward and repurchase the ones that I really enjoy. So now is the time. Miscellaneous masks. I started the year with 3 and I finished 3. These were like the smile line masks. They're all finished. I think what I'll do now is no longer track this category, and just as I want products, I will buy them and use them. So for skincare, we started the year with 190 products. I finished up 58. I decluttered 12. I purchased, or 43 new products came into my stash, and I'm finishing up the year with 160 skincare products. All right, let's move on to body. So I started the year with 18 body washes. I finished 6 of them and I've had no new ones come in. That leaves me with 12. I'm still working on my body washes. I hope to make really good progress again in 2024, and by the end of next year be in a position where I'm like, I get to start buying body wash again. Can't wait to go and explore what's new. Body scrub. So I started with 7 and I finished 3, which isn't bad. Again, look, this is a category where I don't really feel the big pressure to like pan stuff, but I want to just keep going and like rotate through the products that I have, start using up what I still have so that I can buy some in 2024. I think 4 body scrubs is reasonable. I will mention that the ones that are in my stash, some of them do also have some use. So they're not like full and completely sealed. Some of them are, but I think having 4 in total and some of them have been used and are already like on their way out, I think that's pretty reasonable. Body oil, I started the year with 10, I finished 3, decluttered 4, I currently have 3 left. I do really like body oils, but I find that there is a time and a place for them. If it's too hot, can't stand it. If it's too cold, can't stand it. So for me, I would never ever need more than 3. I definitely want to continue to use them so that if something does pop up that I'm particularly interested in, I can buy it and know that it's not going to sit in my cupboard for 3 years. Body moisturizer, I started the year with 13. I finished 4, decluttered 3. They would have been ones that I left home in Melbourne. I did have 4 new ones come into my stash this year. They were mostly gift with purchases from Black Friday and things that were in my advent calendar. I currently have 10. I wouldn't say that I'm quite there on needing to buy body moisturizer, obviously, because I still have quite a few, but also like I mentioned earlier, I've got face moisturizers that have been you know, put into the depths of my cupboard with my moisturizers, my body moisturizers, to use them up on my body because they're no longer good for my face. So probably end of next year, I'm assuming my numbers will be looking a lot better and I might be in a position to buy some body moisturizers. Hand creams, man, it's a problem. Like, I feel like I struggle so bad with hand creams. So I started the year with 14. I finished 3, decluttered 2, but I had 4 new ones come into my stash. Advent calendars, it is what it is. That leaves me with 13 products. Oh, and actually, to be fair, 3 of them were in a PR pack from holiday last year that didn't make it onto my inventory either. So it is what it is. Feet. So I started the year with 2. I've had no changes there. I've still got 2 products left. I think I will stop tracking this one because it's not really been a problem category for me for quite a while. I do like to always have like dedicated feet things in my stash. I particularly like to have the foot peeling masks, which are the 2 items that I have. And I also usually have like a treatment moisturizer for eczema because I get eczema on my feet. Moving into tanning, this is also another category that I think I will stop tracking. I started the year with 2 and I have 2 products now. There was no changes with the products. Usually when I'm talking about tanning, it's just gradual tan moisturizers. And this has never been an area where I've struggled with my purchasing or I've had like bad purchasing habits. It's always been something that like I often would get them in PR and I would finish them up. If I absolutely loved one, I would go and repurchase it when I was really low and had no backups. So it's not a problem category, and to make my life easier, I think I will stop tracking it. Fragrance. Man, my fragrance collection over the last 3 years has morphed into something that I just love so much. Almost every single perfume that I have is something that like I just want to use it organically, and each fragrance is just a little bit of me in a bottle. So I feel like I can wear any of them on any given day for any particular event or whatever is going on, and I love that. I have had a lot of perfumes in my stash over the years where I'm like, I like it, but I don't love it. And sometimes like, I don't want to wear it during winter or I don't want to wear it during summer or whatever. But now it's just almost everything, not every single thing, but almost everything is just literally me in a bottle, and I love that. So I started the year with 23. I finished 2 and I decluttered 1. I did bring 2 into my stash. 1 was from an advent calendar and 1 I purchased myself. I will mention I actually opened my advent calendars last night for day 19, and Madeline had slipped a little perfume in one of the doors of the advent calendar that she purchased me. So I did have another one come in this year, but that'll go on my inventory for next year. Didn't quite make the cutoff point for getting onto my inventory. So I'm leaving the year with 2022. Wow. With 22 fragrances, and I love them. Candles. So we've got candle, like large sizes and minis. So I started the year with 6 full-size candles. I finished 2. I did purchase 1. Yep. And I'm leaving the year with 5. I picked up the Glasshouse Holiday, one of their holiday candles. I got the white one with little transparent windows, and when you light it up, it glows and it's super cute. And I got that because I had a gift card that I wanted to use at Peter Alexander, and you know how expensive all of their like pajamas and stuff are. I was like, I'm getting a candle. I'm getting a candle because I'm not paying for their pajamas. For candle minis, I started the year with 9. I finished 1 and I had 2 new ones come into my stash, which means I'm at 10. I do want to work on this category in 2023. It's time to start using some up, especially my older ones. It's very likely that the scent thrower is not really going to be there anymore. So it's time to burn through them. So my final numbers for the body category, I started the year with 104 products. I finished up 24, which is pretty good. I decluttered 10. I had 13 new ones come into my stash, and I'm finishing up the year with 83 products. Moving on to hair. So shampoo and conditioner, these mimic each other, and that's great because there's nothing worse than like running out of shampoo and having heaps of conditioner, or vice versa. So both categories, 8 products, finished 1, decluttered 1, had 1 new one come in 2023, and now I have 7. I have enough shampoo and conditioner to last me a lifetime. Treatments, look, this is a category I wanted to work on, and I kind of did. Like, I mean, I used up 6 products, but I had 3 come in. I started the year with 24 and I'm finishing with 21. Still an area I want to work on. But the thing about like hair products is, for example, if I'm working on a body moisturizer, I can reapply that every day. But if I'm reapplying hair products into my hair every day, it starts to get pretty gross. I have very fine hair, so I can't actually handle a lot of product. So it is hard for me to finish these up. For leave-ins, again, I started the year with 26. I only finished 2, but I decluttered 3. They were actually things I left at home for mum. I had 2 new ones come in, so I'm down to 23. I don't see myself being in the market for hair products for quite a while. For styling products, I started the year with 10, I finished 3, I have 1 new one come in, and I have 8 products left. And for dry shampoo, I started the year with 12, I finished 1, I decluttered 10. Yeah, I actually left them at home in Melbourne because I was worried about traveling with too many. I had 2 new ones come into my life this year. I purchased 1. 1 came in like a gift bag for an event that I went to, and it leaves me with 3. So my total numbers for hair, I started the year with 88 products. I used up 14. I decluttered 15. I had 10 new ones come in. It leaves me with 69 products. Moving into the makeup category, this is a big one. I'm going to go through it relatively quickly because you'll be able to see there's not a lot of change that happened here. I did not pan makeup in the way that I have in past years. It was just a little bit too hard for me up until, when was it? When did my car arrive? Was it March? I think. I didn't actually have access to most of my makeup. And even then, I left things in boxes because we were still in the process of buying a house. So I didn't actually have access to the majority of my makeup collection until late May. So panning makeup just wasn't really happening for me. But 2024 is going to be the year for that, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So primers, I had 2, I decluttered 2, I had 3 new ones come in to my stash. It leaves me with 3 primers. Eye primers, 5. Nothing has changed there. I still have them all. Foundation, I'm still pretty happy with how I went with this. I started with 14, I finished 3, and I have 11. One of them is so close to being done, and I do expect to finish it up before the end of the year, so that's exciting. Concealer, I had 6, I decluttered 3, and it leaves me with 3. I don't think that's accurate because, oh no, actually it is, because I include my color correctors in this category as well. So yes, that is correct. Powder, I had 16. I finished 4. That surprised me so much. I felt like this year I really struggled with powder, even though it was constantly in my mind that I really wanted to finish up as many as I could. And look, 4 powders, not too bad, especially for someone with dry skin. And one of them was a loose powder as well. I had 2 new ones come in, so I currently have 14 powders. Face mists, I had 36. I finished up 3, which actually isn't too bad. I have one new one come in and I've got 34 products now. For bronzers, I started the year with 13 and I decluttered 3, leaving me with 10. Blush, I started the year with 31 and I decluttered 5, leaving me with 26. Highlighters, this is still a major problem area. Blush is as well, but these categories, like what I have, I really love, but I just know that like I'm never going to be able to finish them. Never. Like, just no. So it's more a matter of not worrying about finishing them, but using them and then decluttering them when I feel like I am done with it. And going forward in the future, blushes and highlighters, I think I will only purchase if I can get it in a mini or like end of year, like Christmas packs where you get mini versions. When it comes to blush and highlights, I need 6 grams of those products in a pan, like I need a hole in the head. So there's that. But for highlighters, I had 1 that I decluttered and I had 2 come in via PR, I believe. No, they might have actually been from advent calendars. Yeah, they were. One was a liquid and one was a stick. They're both in my like everyday makeup drawer at the moment. For face palettes, I started the year with 13. I still have 13. There's no change there. I want to try and pan one of them in 2024. Brow colors, I started the year with 10 and I decluttered 1, leaving me with 9. Brow setting products, I started the year with 5. 3 of them I decluttered. 2 new PR items came in to my stash and I'm leaving the year with 4. Mascaras, I had 11. I decluttered 4 of them, which leaves me with 7. I have been so hung up on my Milani, what's it called? Anti-gravity mascara this year. Like I just can't, I don't want to use anything else. Mini mascaras, I had 5. I finished up 2. I had 1 new one come into my stash, which leaves me with 4 products. Colored mascaras, I had 3 at the start of the year. I decluttered them when I came to Melbourne. It leaves me with 0 products. I'm no longer going to track this category. I think my days of colored mascara are done. And if I do happen to pick one up or get one in PR or something, it can just go into my usual mascara category. Black liner / gel. This is usually like gel pots or pencil liners. I had 3. I've still got 3. No changes there. And same for black pen liners. There's been no changes there. I started the year with 8 and I still have 8. Colored pen liners, I started the year with 9. I decluttered 2, leaving me with 7. Colored pencil liners, I got too many of these. I started the year with 20. I finished 1. I decluttered 2, leaving me with 17. This is definitely a category that I want to work on in 2024. Even if I could just finish up like 2 of them, I think I would be happy with that. Colored gel liners, I started the year with 8 and I am finishing the year with 8. No changes there. And same for colored liquid liners, 18. That's my number. But again, I do want to try and make some progress here in 2024. I don't know realistically if I'd be able to actually finish any, but if I can get some use out of some and then just decide, you know what, I'm ready to move on with my life, then I can declutter them. Single eyeshadows. So I started the year with 33. I decluttered 1 and I had 1 new one come into my life. It was gifted to me, leaving me with 33. Pigments, I started the year with 42 and there's been no change there. For liquids and cream shadows, I started the year with 9 and I decluttered 5 of them, leaving me with 4. I like to think maybe I'd be able to make progress on them in 2024, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself with that because I'm still working on my eyeshadow palette like testing series and I expect that to take me quite some time, so no pressure. Glitters, I don't care about this category. It's last year I said, you know, it's plastic, it's better off in my stash and not in landfill. It's not going to go bad. It's the kind of thing that, you know, when I need it, and I don't want to buy it, I am going to stop tracking this category. Palettes, man, I've come a long way with palettes over the years. So I started the year with 86, I decluttered 9, I had 6 new ones come into my stash, and it leaves me with 83. I actually know for a fact that this is not 100% correct, because after I had done my inventory and I was like working on these numbers, I remembered that I have some in a, like from the last Kaleidos collection that they sent me, and it's actually in the like PR special display box on my bench, and I just didn't get around to putting them in here. I'm not even going to worry too much about it. Like, I know that I made the error, and I know eventually those palettes going to end up in my drawer, so it'll just come out in the wash next year, and that's fine. I don't care that much. Lip liner, this is definitely a category that I want to make good progress on next year. I would like to finish at least 3 lip liners, maybe 4 if I can. So I started the year with 14, I decluttered 1, and I have 1 new one come into my stash. It leaves me with 14. Lip gloss, again, I want to do something with my lip collection next year. I need to make good progress. I tried to do it this year. I wouldn't say it was like it was a bit more of a fail than anything. So I started the year with 38, I finished 1, decluttered 5, and that leaves me with 32 products. For lip gloss minis, I started the year with 6, and I still have that many. Lipsticks, I started the year with 89. I finished 2, decluttered 6, and I have 1 new one come into my stash, leaving me with 82 products. Lipstick minis, again, I had 6 at the start of the year, and I'm finishing the year with 6. That number's a tiny bit off though, because I haven't marked the items from my project pan. And finally, liquid lipsticks, I started the year with 44, and I still have 44. Do I really have 44? I feel like that's wrong. Oh no, I know what it is. Took me a minute. I'm thinking like, look, I know I've kept all of my Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks, and there's quite a few there, but it's not 44. It's the Kaleidos Liquid Lipsticks. That's it. Okay. So for makeup, I started the year with 687 products. I finished 18, which is just pathetically woeful. I decluttered 54, which is not too bad considering how much decluttering I've done over the years. And how I feel about my stash now, like my makeup stuff. A lot of it I really, really love and find it difficult to part with. I did have 20 new products come into my stash, and that leaves me with 635 products, so small change. Okay, last category, samples. So I'm not going to go through all of these individually. The table will be up. You can pause it and have a closer look if you feel like it. But I think with samples, look, I'm actually pretty happy with the amount that I used this year, even though I can barely remember even using some of my samples. I know I made a big dent with fragrance samples, but usually I use my samples when I travel, and I didn't do a lot of travel in 2023. A category that I do want to actually call out here and chat about is moisturizer. So I started the year with 26, I finished up 9, I had 25 come into my stash. It's leaving me with 42. I know, it sounds crazy. A lot of them, like I think 12 of them are literally Elemis Marine Collagen moisturizer sachets, so I think that's important to keep in mind. They're literally 1 or 2 use products, and then I did have heaps of gift with purchase items like mini samples and stuff from my Black Friday purchases, so you know, there's that. However, I think I'm going to burn through quite a few of those moisturizer samples in 2024 because I'm not traveling, but my skin, like, I don't know what moisturizers my skin likes. I know my skin likes the Marine Collagen Moisturizer from Elemis, and I also like the Pharmacy Honey Halo Moisturizer, but that's kind of where it ends. So I can see myself using a lot of those Elemis samples throughout 2024. Apparently my skin has decided that it only likes luxury moisturizers now, and also a luxury serum. So that's wonderful news to come out of 2023, but I'm hoping in 2024 I will be able to find some at least slightly cheaper alternatives. I mean, if I have to have a $100 moisturizer for my daily use and a $50 serum, then fine, I will, because, you know, I want my skin to feel comfortable, but that would not be my preference. So looking at my final number for samples, I started the year with 195, I finished 43, I decluttered 3, I had 49 come into my stash, and this is the only category that grew for me. It is I am left with 198 samples. I do actually want to bring some samples into my project pan next year, or maybe I'll do like a side project, a sampled out, I'm not sure, because I have some that are they're just getting a bit old and it's kind of time to use it or get rid of it. So I figure I will take advantage of that in 2024 and I will finish some up. So taking a look at my final numbers for my inventory for 2023, I started the year with 1,274 products. I finished 158. I decluttered 97, and I had 137 new products come into my stash. It leaves me with 1,145 products. Now, I did have a goal for 2023. I wanted my total inventory numbers to be under 900. I have been setting a goal for myself every year, and I have been obtaining that goal or reaching that goal, and this is the first year that I have not. While I chit chat, I'm going to put some side by sides of my tables from last year, comparing it to this year, in case you want to have a look and you can see, you know, how many products I used up or decluttered last year versus this year. So I think this year I had the best of intentions to continue my, you know, panning and mindful decluttering of my stash, but I think I was probably a little bit naive about how difficult it was going to be for me to actually do that this year, with moving from Melbourne to Geraldton to Perth and then buying a house in Perth and doing that move again. Like, that's a lot of moving. We did that all in the first half of the year, and I have to say, like, the last half of the year has just sort of been trying to mentally recuperate from that. And I think when I take that into consideration, I still did pretty good this year. I am really looking forward to starting fresh in 2024 and having a really good panning year. I am going to set a new goal. It's 800 or below, which means I'm going to have to use up just a little bit under 350 products, but that also doesn't account for anything that's coming into my stash. I don't know if that's realistic. I might be biting off more than I can chew, but I'm going to see how I go. Oh, and I should mention, by saying use up products, that also includes decluttering. So that's it for my 2023 beauty inventory recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to say a massive thank you to my channel members for your support this year. It really means a lot to me. I'm getting emotional. I'm doing my like Christmas wrap up. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining me this year. It has been a very big year for me. It's been challenging but super rewarding, and I appreciate you guys for sticking by me even when I was, you know, not sure what I was doing with my content, or I was trying out different stuff, or I was, you know, I had sporadic posting. I am thinking about making some changes in 2024, maybe uploading a little bit less. I just feel like I need to, I don't know, just sort of slow down a little bit. I'm really not sure what it's even going to look like yet. Like, I've been thinking about it, but also not really making any plans with it. So who knows? We'll see what 2024 has in store. I'm kind of taking a bit of a go with the flow approach, which for me is always like my favorite way to deal with life or deal with stress or tiredness or anything like that. So I think if I just honor myself in that, I will enjoy what I'm doing. I will be back with one more video on New Year's Eve, my time. It'll be my Project Pan finale for the year, and then I will have some content in January, but it's going to be very pared back. I'm taking like a break. I think we'll probably be looking at like 1 or 2-ish videos a week in January. I also want to say a very, very Merry Christmas to you and yours. And if you don't celebrate the holidays, then I do hope you at least get a little bit of a break over this time of the year, and that you have a safe and happy new year. And remember, be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap that up. Freya, do you want to come say goodbye? I was going to say hello. You want to come say goodbye? Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, she's literally, yeah, she's laying on the ground and she's just rolled over and done one of these for a belly rub. You have to say goodbye and Merry Christmas. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Yeah. Good girl. Say Merry Christmas. See you on New Year's Eve. No, don't lick my face, please. It's so gross. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for joining me in this video and this year. I will see you again soon.